It's Thursday evening, and have to say it's going to be an interesting show. Amy's out of town in Dallas. CJ's doing a book launch, and our new co-host is up at New York for the Comic Con up there. So we're just spread around all over the place right now. But we do have a guest co-host, and that's Freddie Cruz. Most of y'all have probably seen him from the conversation about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. No, it's been longer than that. 4 or 5 weeks.
It's been 78 years. Seems like it, though. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, probably a little longer because I had a 2-week hiatus there. But definitely. But anyway, I was reading some stuff up, and it sounds like you had an interesting week going to a coffee shop.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about going into the actual anything. It could be a restaurant, a grocery store, or whatever. I mean, this is stuff that curbside just does not provide you, this kind of entertainment. So I like to get out when I can. So I go into a coffee shop in the near my neighborhood, and what's up, William? I see William checking in. And so I walk into this coffee shop, and there's a lady who I don't know her name. She didn't know my name. That's cool. I love the anonymity. But I go into this coffee shop, and I ask her, how's everything going? She says, I've had an interesting week. Oh, good interesting or bad interesting? And she just laid it all out on me, homie, while she's making my latte. Well, my pet hedgehog, which that alone, a pet hedgehog is pretty cool. All right. Johnny asked mom for one. Just kidding. You didn't hear me.
I actually already have.
Oh, nice. So my pet hedgehog gouged its eye out and ate it. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's you unloaded quite a bit on me. So then she continues to say that, well, it's a common health issue among hedgehogs. And she had trouble finding a veterinarian that would serve as her injured hedgehog that ate its eyeball like some sort of sociopath. So there you go. I hope whatever fell did not break.
It was a cat.
Oh gosh, it was a cat, just a cat. Well, they land on all fours, so
Oh yeah,
walk it off.
we have ammo.
Oh gosh. I still have questions. I haven't seen that barista since, so I've got questions. I got follow-up questions. What would you ask,
Were the
Johnny?
eyeballs back?
How did it gouge its own eye out?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
We got the little arms, right? The little legs. It's like the sheer physics are mind-boggling. What's up, Boobo?
Hello.
I was actually reading a little bit up on hedgehogs, and you're not supposed to put them in a cage. They're supposed to be in glass, not a wired cage. They're supposed to be in glass cages. Because of wired cage, they actually try to claw up, and they actually hang themselves when they do that. So
Wow.
I did a little bit of research after I read your story. It's like, God, I got to research this now.
Yeah. And you'll fall into a rabbit hole, end up being up till 2 a.m, but then you'll know every single thing there is to know about hedgehogs.
Yes. And I will by the end of the night now.
It's not the worst rabbit hole you could ever fall into.
No.
They're worse. Area 51.
Oh, Lordy. There we go.
Don't get me started.
We're putting
we
cats that are messing with our backdrop in jail.
Do what now? I heard backed up in jail.
Oh, we're putting the cats that are attacking the backdrop in jail.
Oh.
they call it gel.
Yeah, they think it's jail.
They've gone from timeout to jail.
Yeah.
It was just sent to me.
Oh.
Fenris is being well behaved.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm sorry, Greg. I just got to tell you, This is a first in the history of my 47 years on this planet. I've never been invited to be a co-host on a live stream with an actress. So this is great. So I got to thank you for that. And I got to thank Johnny for the, and Mom for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Love having you here. But I have to ask, Johnny, what got you started into acting? I know you got it started into horror when you were 6 years old,
Yeah. Actually, it's like I get asked this question a lot, but what got me started into acting is whenever I was like younger, like I don't know, like 6, around the time I started liking horror. Um so my mom took me to audition for the play Annie, and cuz she wanted me to learn to accept rejection or accept acceptance, and surprisingly I got accepted even though I was below the age requirement. And so, I just like really liked it. And so I did more plays, and then I did the conventions. And some people wanted me in their movie. And so I'm like, oh yay, I like movies. This is like I like film acting too. So, I just kind of am interchanging in between film and theater now. Like right now I'm the lead in Miracle on 34th Street in my local community theater.
Very nice. So
Yeah.
you get to play Susan Walker, I think was the name.
Yeah.
I watch that movie every year. One of my favorites. That
Like
and
before
White
the
Christmas.
audition, it was the first time I've ever seen the movie.
The Natalie Wood one.
Yeah.
We didn't watch the new one yet because it wasn't streaming anywhere.
So I don't want to say the 1934. They actually had 3 of them, I think. One in the 30s, one in the 50s or 60s, and then the newer one in the early 2000s.
Oh, I gotta see which one was the Natalie Wood Miracle. So that 1947 was the one with Natalie Wood.
Oh, that's
Okay.
really cool, Boobo the Mad Jester.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love Matilda. Oh yeah, and Maureen O'Hara. Yeah, she was in that too.
Yeah.
That's great.
She's a great actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with these horror films, so what kind of parts did you play in the horror films? Was it
Well, most of them I actually surprisingly a lot amount. I played younger versions of the main characters. I feel like that's a really common theme in horror movies. Just like there's like one flashback scene, and it's like I don't know, why do I always look like a lot of main characters?
I mean, it beats the heck out of being the creepy little kid from The Shining, and I hope you haven't had the chance to watch The Shining yet. Maybe when you're a teenager.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like a psychological one that you weren't
Oh, I
into
used to
yet.
hate those.
Yeah.
I used to hate those. I have no idea why. I had no
It
idea
wasn't
what
quite psycho. It was actually horror. It was just slow paced. So it wasn't quite psychological. It was more horror, but very slow paced
Yeah.
for you.
I have no idea what I had against psychological horror movies.
or the Exorcist?
Oh gosh. That's a whole other, that's a whole other topic. Yeah. Oh, what is your favorite horror movie though, Johnny?
It's Willys Wonderland. I don't know if you've heard of it. It has Nick Cage in it.
I'm sorry, which one?
Willys Wonderland.
Willys Wonderland? Now that
Yeah.
just sounds creepy.
It is. I've seen it like I don't know, like 13 times.
Well, it must not be too bad if you've seen it 13 times. Now, was it okay? So, what's the difference between watching it for the first time and then watching it for the 13th time? Is it by the 13th time that you're looking for things that you missed out, or and then as opposed to the first or second time when you're like, "Wow, this is really, really scary. I don't know if I can do it again."
Okay, so it's like so the first one I was just I heard of it, and I don't know if you've heard of the horror game Five Nights at Freddy's, but they're making a movie based on that, and that was one of the scrapped scripts. And so I watched it for the first time, expecting it to be something close to FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's story. And I was like, oh wow, this is like a lot better than even Five Nights at Freddy's, which I've been obsessed with for like since I was into horror. And so, and then it just like it gives me the chills whenever I think about animatronics attacking people and what can just go wrong. Like the Banana Splits horror movie, for example. I really loved that one. That was another scrapped script for the FNAF horror movie. they've been trying to make it for years, and Scott Cawthon just does not like any scripts. But now they're finally into production on it.
Thanks to Jason Blum.
Okay, I'm looking this up right now. Okay, so for people who like me have never heard of Willys Wonderland, it's got a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 60% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Among Google users, it's 81% liked this movie. So the quick synopsis is: when his car breaks down, a quiet loner agrees to clean an abandoned family fun center in exchange for repairs. He soon finds himself waging war against possessed animatronic mascots while trapped inside Willys Wonderland. I'm going to have nightmares already.
And they have incredible songs in it. It's a musical, kind of.
Oh, gosh, it's a musical. Okay, so...
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so is this a Netflix or a Hulu or...
It's on Hulu.
Hulu, okay. All right.
And she owns it, and the shirt.
And
I think
everything
the
about it.
poster.
Oh,
It almost sounds like a mixture of
Am I
the
allowed to
Puppet
say-
Master.
You have a crush on Nikki?
kind of right. Okay, so and this is interesting because when you do a Google search for Willys Wonderland, then you scroll down, and then it's got people also search for where is it? So I guess these are what they would call the comps: The Conjuring, The Purge, Anarchy, and the movie Old, as well as Identity, which was creepy, and then Jennifer's Body. So there you go.
Now the thing about The Purge is it was good like the first 2 or 3 movies, but then it was just the same exact thing over and over and over again.
Kind of like Halloween.
And
Final Destination is like that. Too, though.
no, Final Destination is different. There's different deaths. They all die the same way.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Driving behind trucks that carry loads of pipes in them really did it for me. And so, yeah, I get paranoid. I get very paranoid.
Now I'm terrified of roller coasters. Like, I'm just always scared that someone's going to drop a screw, and that's going to loosen this, and that's going to kill that, and that's going to destroy everything, and then I'm going to die.
Yeah, because of one loose screw.
Well, we're all in trouble with my brain. So what was the transition like going from horror to doing Christmas shows? That had to have been different for mentality.
Oh, yeah, it was. My first family-friendly movie I just filmed in December. It's called Rose Wagon. It was pretty different. I was used to someone getting killed or me doing the killing. But it was just, happy and heartwarming. I cried a few times. Well, I mean, I had to because on set, but reading the script made me cry because, it's such a heartwarming story. It was really different.
Well, I do have a trailer for that if I can get it pulled up here. Share screen.
And while Greg does that, I got to know, how does an 11-year-old pull off a murder as an actress?
Well, it's kind of easy, actually. All you have to do is get into character, pretend you're the character, and go crazy.
So you're not dealing with are you dealing with an invisible victim? I can't believe I'm asking an 11-year-old this. Are you dealing with an invisible victim, or do you have a prosthetic? Like a fake body, like a dummy.
Oh, well, one of the most memorable kills I've done was there actually the person was actually just acting there, and he was shivering, and he had guts like inside his shirt for me to just dig into and like destroy and eat.
So what were the guts? Spaghetti?
No, it was just fake guts that I was supposed to slap on my cheek and pretend that I was eating it.
Oh, Lordy.
All right. On that note, Greg.
I'll get it going for you.
Oh, yeah, he's getting offed. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, gosh, he's thinking too much.
The Rose Wagon Part 2. Outtakes.
Yeah, you're getting it, son.
Wintertime, the snow is here to stay.
Definitely the kind of music that plays before you get murdered.
You can feel it, the end of the year. You can see it falling down.
I'm waiting for a knife or machete. I'm waiting.
Come on, it's time to come home.
Oh no.
This isn't a horror. This is the family one.
This is a family one.
Oh, it's a family one.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
This is a that bridge into this drama scene though. It
I
sounds
need
like
to go
oh
home.
my
My
feels.
baby needs me, and I need her. I miss you too, Pussy. So much.
I don't believe any of this. Christmas is tomorrow, and I'm living in nightmares. First it's my surgery that I can't afford, and then it's my caregiver, and then it's my own mom of all people.
You need to know how proud I am of you. For the most part, you have kept everything together. You didn't run from your problems like I did. You raised Bella alone, and she is so poised and so determined. And you two are great together.
I can't be your dad.
You weren't there. God, it is me. I have been very good this year, and it was really nice of my daddy to get Santa to bring my super nice wagon this year. I don't want any more presents. I just want for Daddy to get his surgery and for his legs to work again. Hey,
Open the sky for me. Cut out the heart, the fear, to spoil the children's laughter. Bitter, bitter, the blackest of hearts.
I'm just
It's all
glad it was
quiet.
cleared up for me. Yeah, I was just glad that it was cleared up for me that this was not a horror movie because I'm like, oh
No,
my
this-
gosh, this is
I
the
thought
kind
you
of
were
music
being
that
funny
happens.
for a minute.
Yeah, I forgot.
you.
I forgot. Yeah.
Man, I wish you would just let it go. Oh, he's about to get killed. Oh, he's about to get killed.
I should have said anything.
Well,
It would have been so funny. Ooh, can you turn the light on? It's dark now.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
they do that to me too. My other co-host. Don't feel bad.
Oh, wow,
God.
that's bright.
Yo, do you want me to turn the other one on?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that
So
better?
what do you?
No,
Is that
keep
coming
going.
out in December? If I'm correct, I don't know the exact date it's coming out.
Well, it was gonna come out in December, but they have some more things to do with it, so it's not gonna come out until next
Yeah,
Christmas.
they're getting I think they're getting pretty big distribution, and so they're it's set to screen for the premiere, I think in spring, but then I think it's getting big release in time for Christmas of 2023. So it's still another year away, but it's amazing though. It is an amazing film.
It looks like it should be on Hallmark, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, you're doing the Miracle on 34th Street. God, I had to think of the name of that. It's been a long month for me. And it's only 6 days in.
I was going to say it's only October 6th.
Yeah, it's only 6 days in. You'd be surprised what can happen in 6 days.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask you. So, Greg asked you, Johnny, what's the difference between doing a family movie and a horror? I always have trouble saying horror. A scary movie.
Same.
Horror movie.
Scary.
Yeah. If you could go back, if you could choose which horror villain you could slay or be in a movie with, what would it be? Would it be Jason or Freddy? Would it be Jigsaw? Would it be Hannibal Lecter? Would it be the killer clowns from outer space? Who would it be?
It would be Art the Clown from Terrifier.
I got another one to look up. Okay.
Terrifier's a movie on Tubi. It is so good.
It used to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
We've probably seen it about 35 times, and it is very gory and not for most kids. Definitely not.
And Terrifier 2 is releasing
tonight.
Oh, okay, tonight.
I just saw that.
Saturday in the theaters. And I actually kind of me and Daddy did get together and wrote this thing that could be like a storyline for Terrifier 3.
Oh, it's a fan. They do fan fiction.
Yeah.
Y'all,
the character's name is Artemisia.
This has a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes, y'all. The second one. Yeah. Okay. There's only one. Oh, this is just near me. Okay, so they're showing it in several theaters.
Yeah.
So we know what they're doing after the show.
Wow. I mean, a 100 score on Rotten Tomatoes it's no small feat.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. It is terrifying. Hence the name, Terrifier. It is very gory.
So you say it's gory, Mom? Like, how gore? Are we talking ridiculous gory, like Saw, or?
What is the one that I used to like? We used to watch all the time, but you haven't seen it yet. What's that one?
Victor Crawley?
Yeah, Victor Crawley. It's like what is the name of their? Like it's 1, 2,
Hatchet?
3. Hatchet. Yeah, it's as gory. It's gore. It's more gory. It's more gory than Hatchet. It is very gory, but it's like that cheesy gore that is like ridiculous gore.
It's redunculous.
It's not like dark content like Dahmer. I'm watching that, obviously not with her, but I'm watching the Dahmer thing, and I gotta take breaks with that one. So it's not like that. It's like, it's like the cheesy gore that's just ridiculous. Yeah, I see her.
What? Would you say cheesy gore like that? Would you say like a spaghetti western?
Cheesy gore that's just hilarious because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Chris. The killer clowns from outer space would be fun to hang out with. I just wouldn't want to get lost in that UFO.
That one. That's amazing. That used to be one of my favorites when I was a kid.
I have to say, Chucky.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I always like Child's Play.
Yeah, that one wasn't really scary though.
Yeah.
It wasn't really. I like to be scared, but I like to test the boundaries of what can make me jump. I guess what can make me get startled. So I don't do supernatural stuff very well. I don't handle that very well. So for example, the series Vampire was no, I'm sorry, not Vampire. Dracula on Netflix. That was too much. Yeah, I mean that was way too much. Like, okay, so my teenagers, I was like, yeah, hey, this is so scary, and I definitely wouldn't want to watch it. Hey, will you rewatch episodes one? I'll rewatch episodes 1 and 2, and we can maybe try it again. Even she, who has no boundaries whatsoever, was like, yeah, Dad, it's just, you start, I think because you start bringing figureheads into the mix, priests, nuns, and it was just too it was too much. And I think just like with Dahmer, this stuff really hits close to home because Dahmer that actually happened.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I can listen to my true crime podcast all day long. There was 2 that really disturbed me. But Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't one of them. But watching it was the Albert Fish I can't do, and then the what was his name? He was as bad as Albert Fish. What was it? Because I just listened to. I've never heard of the guy before until today when I was doing my chores, and it's like no.
Albert Fish.
Albert Fish is the worst. The second one, what was his name? It was
Who's Albert Fish?
Oh, Nathaniel Bar Jonah. That guy is, I think, as bad as Albert Fish. Who I can't do those 2, but the rest of the serial killers I can listen to.
That's what he looks like, Johnny. That's Albert.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Well, I listened to this Albert Fish. I listened to this podcast called Serial Chillers a long time ago, and they read all the letters. So creepy. It was the worst, and it made me sick to my stomach. It was so bad.
Well, speaking of movies that are absolutely terrifying, let's take a look at Nope. That movie I just watched. Now, it's not that scary, except for this one scene where
the chimpanzee.
Yeah. It had no, it wasn't even, it didn't really have anything to do with the story. It was just put in there because, what's this guy, Jordan Peele, really wanted that story just in the movie.
But he did correlate it together. He did a good job. Had you watched it the second time with me, you would have seen that. You would have.
What is it? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
I was going to say this is going to date me, but going back to her starting to watch at 6 or 7, the horror, I think about 7 years old is when I first watched Poltergeist.
Oh, I think that was about when I watched it in 1982. We rented it on the VHS. Yeah, that terrified me. And I think I was 6.
The clown.
The clown. Remember the little boy had that clown, and it was it was really scary. You haven't seen Poltergeist in a few years.
I haven't seen Poltergeist.
Yes, you have. Remember the hallway that you were freaking out about?
Oh, I'm thinking of Exorcist. I'm like, what's... I haven't seen that. No, I remember Poltergeist.
The end of the movie where they rolled the TV out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the little old lady.
That was actually based on a true story here in Houston.
I've heard
that. You did not know that.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Freddie's like, oh God, I'm moving from Houston now.
I'm going to have to talk to my friend, Mr. McKinney, who is all about Houston history. So he rides around the city in a convertible in a convertible school bus that he hollowed out and rearranged the seats. And he gives these tours to kids, but also foundations and companies and donors and whatnot. And so he's got a series, I guess you could call it a true crime / Halloween kind of ghost story series of tours for October. And then he does holidays for November and December. But I've got to add, because this dude is like a walking encyclopedia of everything Houston and Texas. This guy will know every single thing. And I kid you not, you can challenge him. Yeah. Betamax. Now, how about that, Chris?
There we go.
Wow. Okay.
That is it wasn't very popular, but it was that laser discs, the VHSs. They're all kind of out at the same time. Early 80s, maybe late.
That's when the VHS tape cost $200.
Yeah.
What kind of scary movie would you not want to do, Johnny?
What do you mean?
Like what scares you? And you're like, you know what? I would love to be in a horror movie with Brad Pitt and Jennifer Lopez, but I don't think I can be in this because these XYZ scares me. So it could be clowns, it could be a chainsaw, it could be whatever.
Well, if I have to be in a like in a completely a massive stadium area that's completely dark and completely empty, and the only thing that's there is the camera. Nope. Like, I have the opposite of claustrophobia because I love teensy little spaces, and I'm terrified of big open spaces.
I understand that. It could be overwhelming. You feel tiny in something very small, and it would for me it would make me feel like helpless.
Yeah.
What is that one that they have here going on right now? 13th floor or something like that, where it's a parking garage, where they take you up in an elevator and you get out, and it's just an open space where stuff comes at you.
Oh, is it a haunt?
Yes.
Oh, that would be really creepy.
I would not be able to do that.
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't be able to do any haunted house. I can't do haunted houses for some reason. It's like my body freaks out and runs out of it.
Yeah.
And then I think around Dallas they have a zombie hunt where you actually use paintballs and shoot the zombies.
Oh, fun.
You know, Walking Dead had a somewhat of an obstacle course years ago, almost 10 years ago. And so they rented out and this is the actual brand. So the AMC show came to town. They did a tour of runs. And so they rented out NRG Stadium and they made it into an abandoned zombie ridden city. So you go in, you check in, and they do the fake scan on you, like, with the thermometer, and Johnny's clear, she can go in. And so you go in, and so the zombie bite is if they touch you. So and of course everybody gets infected because there's no way you don't get touched by these things or people who are, so you can sign up, you could be a runner or you can be a zombie, and so you pay the cost. And it was a lot of fun. I'm surprised I didn't bring it back because there were a lot of people. It sold well, but the scariest part, I shouldn't say scariest, but the most challenging part, because I'm a super competitive person, so the most challenging part was down on the floor of NRG Stadium. They had a series of school buses, and so you had to crawl through the school buses, and there were zombies in the school buses, and all it takes is you getting touched to get quote unquote bitten. And so I'm like, there's no way you're gonna no. If this was real life, you're dead. So this is dumb. I don't want to do this, but you had to, in order to finish the thing, you had to go through. But it's crazy how people took this very seriously, and people were freaking out as if people are legit scared of zombies. And so it was just interesting to see how people act in that situation. And we're dealing with something that's not even real. We're just playing pretend. And so it was an interesting social experiment in how people act. And I found it really super interesting because everybody I was with, like the group that I was lumped in with, they were all freaking out. So I took charge, and I don't really consider myself much of a leader, but then I'm like, oh gosh, you people are now listening to me. Oh yeah, if this was the real thing, y'all be dead in 30 seconds. But okay, let's try it. And I was actually organizing people, like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're not going to go this way. We're going to go around here, and you see where those beds are, and there's barbed wire. We're not going to go that way. We're going to go this way, and then we're going to go around. And so I was actually organizing this group of people. It was probably about 20, and I was like, well, if it ever hits the fan, people might actually trust me, and maybe I'll get food and ammo. Interesting experiment.
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff do you do like that around Halloween,
Us?
Johnny? Yeah.
Oh, well, it's usually like, I don't know, like a week we do a bunch of Halloween festivals, like fall festivals, all sorts of stuff. I do a lot of cosplay competitions, and then on Halloween I usually go to this farm that always throws a Halloween party. But they're doing it the weekend after Halloween this year, so we're going to go to another Halloween thing instead. And of course, I go trick or treating because
It's a
candy's
witch
delicious.
festival.
Ooh, yay, witch!
What are you going to be?
Manila, the son of Godzilla.
The son of Manila?
Manila.
Manila?
The son of
Yep.
Godzilla. You're going to be so knowledgeable of all this after the show.
I know. I've my Google search. I cannot clear
I
my
don't know
Google
if you
search
can
history.
see that. The son of Godzilla's these,
cool.
and then she won at the Days of the Dead adult cosplay, and the mouth, it blows smoke rings. She has this thing rigged in it that her dad and her built, and she just like taps it, and it just like blows smoke rings out of her mouth. And she won, and she got a lot of cool like figure, like the Crow and some Marvel stuff and Star
Yeah.
Wars, and
Actually, in the middle of the cosplay competition, the vortex cannon broke.
it did.
Yeah, I
Oh, I
had to
didn't
fix
even
it.
know
The balloon on it broke off, and so I had to refix it. It was so much easier to blow smoke rings after that. All I had to do was tap instead of having to pull back.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I didn't realize Godzilla even had a son, and this thing this thing is actually kind of in a weird, twisted, demented way cute.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one here.
So they took one of those inflatable Pikachu costumes, and they completely redid it, painted it with like Dura paint or plastic coat or something like that. I don't know. My husband, he does like props for like films, and he does cosplay stuff with her, and he teaches her how to do all this stuff. But it was really cool.
I was going to ask about that because I saw some pictures where was using some special effects makeup.
Oh yeah, she's good at that.
So, are you going to be going when you get further into your career? Should I say? Are you going to be going into the makeup with the special effects? Are you going to be doing the acting? Are you going to try to do both?
I'm gonna do everything: directing, script writing, acting, special effectsing.
There we have it.
Love it.
Y'all heard it
Doing
here
all the
first.
things. Yeah, really. What is your favorite horror movie? I guess like a secret, like a behind the scenes secret. So some people may know that blood in horror movies is really just corn syrup that's dyed red. So what's another like random factoid about being in a horror movie that you learned that you're like, oh wow, that's interesting?
Well, may sound kind of weird, but you may have to get a bunch of people together and dig a ditch.
Okay. For a horror movie.
Yep.
Interesting. So why would you dig a ditch with a bunch of people for a horror movie?
Well, I can't say because I signed an NDA.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we definitely do not want to cross any lines, so we're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that. So there's a book. It's a horror book by Chuck Palahniuk, who is my favorite writer of all time. He wrote Fight Club. He wrote Choke. But this one is called The Invention of Sound. And Johnny's mom, if you like reading scary books, this one is really good. It's grisly and it's dark. Definitely not for you, Johnny, until you're at least 18. But he talks about all the things that sound designers use and create to make certain sounds. So, for example, the sound of a broken bone would be frozen celery wrapped with a cloth and then snapped like. And that's
what is
and
the
that's a
book
bone
called?
break. The Invention of Sound.
Oh.
And the audiobook is incredible. I forget what the narrator's name is, but my goodness, it's really, this guy is really good. It's a short read too. I think it's only 230 something pages. It's really, really good.
You got me intrigued on this one. I mean, did he actually take the celery and do the crunch?
Yeah. So, well, and
On the
the thing
audiobook?
about, yeah, well, no. This is
I was gonna
this is simply
say.
narrated. It's not acted out. No, it's not acted out. It's narrated. But the narrator is incredible. But what I love about Chuck Palahniuk's process is that he he got to start working in a auto factory, but he has a background in journalism. So a lot of his fiction, all of his fiction writing involves a lot of research. So there are things that, so for instance, with Fight Club, there's research that goes into some of the concepts that he presents in that story. In the Invention of Sound, he dug really deep into the world of sound design and how you create all these special effects. And so then we have the plot of Mitzi Ives and her dad, and Mitzi has it's Mitzi Ives Foley Arts Studio, so they create all the sounds for movies, and so she's trying to create the scariest sound ever. And so this sound apparently uses real people, as in, like actual crime victims. Like the creation of sound is like their demise. And it's just, it's so insane. Yeah.
Go downstairs.
I have to use the bathroom. I will.
Oh, all right.
Went downstairs. Okay. You're stuck with just me.
We're perfectly good with that. We can hold a conversation with anybody.
Yep. Oh my goodness, these cats. I have cats.
How many do you have?
I have six now.
Oh, full house.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of litter boxes. But they sneak into the pantry and get their treats, and I have a lock on it. I just caught them doing it just now. They usually do it when I'm in bed. Huh. And it's funny though, because their treats aren't in there right now.
You played a con on them.
Yeah, I did.
Bandit, don't open the pantry. I know
hit the lock on it. Wait, lock it.
It is locked.
Cats that open doors. This is kind of scary itself.
Oh, they plan it. They get together and they have, cat meetings, and they're like, you take that side and I'll take this side. And
oh yeah, there's a treat box in there. One time I saw my cat Bandit. She got her hand because she has a thumb. I don't know if all cats have thumbs, but I know Bandit has a thumb. And with her thumb, she was trying to open the box.
Oh my God. Well, that little rascal, Mia. Let me put her back in jail.
She just wants to be on with Greg.
Yes. We just lost one of our cats yesterday. We had 10.
Oh, wow.
I live on 2 acres out here. We had 6 hens, but 5 of the hens actually killed one of them.
Oh.
So we lost a hen and a cat on the same day.
Oh, wow. We lost all of our hens over the heat wave that we had.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was really sad. I really liked having those eggs. So we're repurposing our chicken coop, and
one of them I got really attached to. She gave me little chicken kisses.
Yeah.
Aww.
Did you just say you made chicken pieces out of her?
Kisses.
She would give her chicken kisses.
Okay, kisses, not pieces. I was like, wow. You're done with the eggs. We're eating you.
It's not a dehydration, but yeah, it's still usable. Wow. Come on, Greg, you're going to traumatize the kids.
She's in horror films. I'd
She's
rather
in
be
horror
more
films,
traumatized
right?
from watching her movies. Now, Freddie talked about supernatural, and supernatural is something that I highly do believe in. It's
Yeah.
stuff like Amityville horror.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff
I
that
love that
really
movie.
got to me.
That's why I can't watch it, because I just feel like I 1000% agree with that. And it's because I think you are the energy that you project out into the world. And so I think that if you're projecting something, that means you can welcome it in. And so why
Yes.
would you want to welcome that in? And I
Mhm.
just, there are certain things, and I'll watch, like American Horror Story was another one. And I just,
Oh, Paranormal Activity, that scared me. The
It
first time I
wasn't
saw it.
that
The first time I
scary.
saw it, I was alone in a hotel room.
okay, that'll do it. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
so scared. I was playing hooky I was in AIT from the Army, and it was like winter and planes were getting canceled. So I lied to my platoon sergeant and said that, my plane was grounded, and I got away with it. I joined the Army later, like I was in my early 30s. So I, didn't follow rules very much. But I was a grown person with kids, but so I'm like, you know what? I want a night off because I was in training and it was awful. And so I just said my plane was grounded, and I got myself a hotel room over in like Richmond, Virginia. And can you stop doing that?
Okay.
And I rented the parent I call it Paranoid Captivity, but I rented it and it scared me so bad. And this was in 2008, I think, or 2009. I think it was 2009.
That was karma for doing that to your platoon sergeant.
I was about to say the ghosts of our founding fathers were haunting you.
Oh, probably. Maybe.
Oh man.
Oh, wow. So another thing that we did want to talk about was Johnny's podcast. I think she has a podcast, YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, I
yeah.
have a YouTube channel. I was like, wait, what?
YouTube
I don't
channel.
have a podcast yet.
Well, I put them everywhere. So this is like the podcast for me, and it goes, we record live and then we put everything on the podcast. So
Yeah.
that's actually how we do it.
Yeah.
So talk about it.
Oh. I film videos because I'm an official influencer for Fangoria. I have my own discount code and everything. But
say it.
Oh yeah, my code is Jonni Shandor in all caps. That's JONNISHANDOR. No spaces. It's all caps. It's I was going to say, and it's on screen now, but I'm used to saying that because Mommy does all the editing stuff and she puts it on the screen. Or you can visit shop.fangoria.com/Jonni Shandor and you will get 20% off your entire order. It applies to merch and magazines, and that's all they have on their website. But it's anything you can purchase. You can purchase subscriptions, single issues, merch, literally everything. 20% off.
And that's for Fangoria, and it's just Jonni Shandor.
Yep, in all caps, no spaces.
And talk about your channel.
Oh yeah, and so I do these videos. I review. Oh, okay. I just saw that on all the platforms, and I'm like, wait, what just happened? But,
It's amazing what I can do here.
But it's funny because I do these. I take a magazine. It's either Movie Monday, which is the latest magazine.
You're talking really fast.
Okay. Or Flashback Friday, which is an old magazine, and I go back into the past for a flashback. And I review for the Movie Monday. I review one, and for movie and Flashback Friday, I review 2 movies. But it's a lot of fun.
You review the articles too from the magazines.
I review the articles from the magazines too. But it's just a lot of fun. And
Well, like your brother said, you do talk fast, and us here from Texas, we like a little bit slower. Actually,
what state are you from? Yeah, what state are you all from?
We're from Kentucky.
Kentucky. All right.
Kentucky.
Well, I'm from Seattle, Washington, but she's from Kentucky.
Well, I mean, if we want to get technical about it, I was born in Kansas.
You were born in Kansas. Yeah.
Well, I lived 2 years in Virginia after being here most of my life, and it's like everybody knew that I was from Texas because I talked a lot slower, and it was almost like in a split second they had a whole paragraph spoken, and it's like, whoa.
I think even people that don't have an obvious Southern drawl, like they're from Texas, for instance, me, and I lived in Minneapolis for 3 years, and even someone like me sounded Texan. And I would tell my friends, I don't see how. I think it's only because you know that I'm from Houston, Texas, that you think I sound like a Texan. No, you definitely sound Southern. No, I don't think so. But okay, y'all. Y'all.
Okay,
You
y'all.
said
There we
y'all.
go.
You said y'all.
I talked to my friends from back home. I haven't been to Seattle, and I love Kentucky. I'll never move back, but I haven't been there since 2009, I think. And people I talk to say that I have a twang, and it's so weird because I don't hear it. I still sound like Washington to me.
Yeah, I took a quiz and I scored Washington.
No.
I pick it up from you and I correct Daddy's grammar.
Yeah.
Oh, finally, that just popped up for Fangoria, 20% off.
Yep.
For everyone.
I'm a little slow on some things. Like I said, I'm from Texas.
But
I love Texas.
code Jonni Shandor in all caps, no spaces, for 20% off on any orders, or you can go to shop.fangoria.com/ let's say it for the Texans. For Fangoria, 20% off. Use code Jonni Shandor in all caps. That's JONNI, no space, SHANDOR. Or you can go to shop.fangoria.com/ Jonni Shandor. Not in all caps, but it's lowercase and it's still no spaces. And you can still get 20% off your order either way you do it.
I bet if
good.
they put Jonni Shandor in all lowercase, I bet they would still get 20% off. But it's okay. Just go with all caps.
I'm out of breath.
Mom knows best. Trust me.
Phoenix.
So, what type of conventions do y'all plan on going to in the future, or have y'all been invited to that you can tell us?
Oh yeah, RaptorCon is next.
RaptorCon? Okay.
RaptorCon is next.
You call it RaptorCon.
Yeah.
So RaptorCon is in December. It is. Why did I just look at the calendar like it's on October?
So December what?
December 10th and 11th. That is correct.
Where's it at?
Evansville, Indiana.
And what kind of convention is it? The pop culture.
Okay. I don't. Sorry.
She's got the tired sillies.
Well, I know that they have the Houston Horror Fest, and they have a bunch of other horror shows around, and of course, pop culture. Don't know about anime for you yet or not.
Oh, Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Chattanooga?
Yeah, she did
Connuga.
She did a.
It was like an anime.
She was a guest at this anime convention in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, it was more pop culture. It wasn't really.
No,
anime.
It's an anime convention. That's what it's labeled as.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I didn't know it'd be labeled as an.
It was like a 4-day convention.
Yeah.
It was long.
Well, no, I thought it was only 3 days.
Was it? I thought it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It was though. It was 4 days.
Yeah. You're goofy.
You are.
I know
You
I
are.
am.
No, you are.
No,
No,
you.
you are. Ah!
Purple.
I think it's getting to be bedtime.
It's just time for my chamomile tea.
There we go. But it's actually getting time for us to end the show. So did want to thank y'all for coming on.
Well,
And
thank you.
love talking about your horror movies and your depiction, as well as your favorite scenes and characters in the horror. Freddie's going to be up all night looking this stuff up, and
And I'll never polish up on being able to say horror. Horror.
Go watch the Willys Wonderland.
Willys Wonderland. I'm on it 100%.
She has a really.
No, I'm sorry. That was
crush
Terrifier
on-
2 with 100%.
Oh no, I'm not supposed to say that she has a crush on Nicolas Cage.
No.
That
And
is
then
funny.
You hear cat now.
And of course, I'll be looking more stuff up on hedgehogs later tonight.
Yeah.
We all have homework to do.
Yeah.
Yes. And can't wait to see the Rose Wagon when it comes out. And it's sounding more like 2023 now. So
Yeah.
I do look forward to that.
It'll be
So-
worth the wait, but it just sucks having to wait.
I said I hate waiting.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Yes. But like I said, thank you for coming on. Freddie, thank you for being a co-host while
Thanks
our
for
others are
having
out.
us.
And our next show, of course, will be our Tuesday regular show at 11 a.m. And then next Thursday, we have John Grimian on, who's been in My Hero Academia and The Food Guy, I believe. Don't ask me that.
I'll have to search him up. I watch My Hero Academia.
But we've had John Swayze on before, too. He's from My Hero Academia.
I'll have to look those people up.
But anyway, thank y'all for coming on. And until Tuesday, everyone,